This is the Dark Entertainment Network. I am Rose Noir, your underground icon. The stories you are about to hear aren't fiction. They're buried truths, redacted histories, and the kind of silence that screams. This channel was demonetized for telling them. No ads, no sponsors, just the archives and us. Welcome, dear fiends, to the den. So I'm back with the Mandela Effect because, as you know, and I will try to remember to link the episode in the comments, but one of my favorite things to do on the weekends, instead of going out on Saturday nights like I used to, is stay home and watch Svengoolie. And I have found lots of Svengoolie fans on TikTok that know what I'm talking about and how great the show is. And it's on MeTV Saturday nights, 7 Central and 8 p.m. here on the East Coast. Although they did say next Saturdays is starting an hour early. So if you are a Svengoolie fan, don't forget it starts at 7 p.m. on the East Coast and 6 p.m. Central Time. There's also House of Svengoolie, but prior to that, MeTV plays the Three Stooges, which, if you've ever seen them, they are the gold standard of comedy, and they went from the 1930s or the late 20s, maybe even through 1958, I believe was when it wrapped up. And from the late 40s to the 50s, Shemp was part of the crew. So this was at that time. And in this particular episode, Larry stands in front of a mirror and says the phrase, "Mirror, mirror on the wall," and the mirror breaks. So let's get to this Disney Grimm's fairy tale Mandela effect, because I have found out a lot of things and you will not ever convince me it's anything other than mirror, mirror. Here is the video, or at least a screenshot of the video, which I will play for you next. But he clearly says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall." Now that's via TikTok. It's also up on my YouTube shorts, so you can check that out as well. And I just found it really interesting because Disney, although not 100% factual with the fairy tale itself, really does try to make it as authentic as possible in its Disney way. You know what I'm saying? So, in the 1937 film, which I remember, and I do have a VHS copy that I watched with both of my nieces who are ages 15 and 11. So, this is only, not even 2 decades ago that we saw Snow White on that VHS tape. I know if I put it in the VCR, just like it's always been since 1937, you will hear the Queen say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all?" And she's happy until the mirror says, "Snow White." And then the saga begins. So I got some comments on TikTok, and people are saying, well, Grimm's fairy tale says, "Mirror, mirror." Partially right. Grimm's fairy tale was written in German. So the whole point of Disney being close to what the original fairy tale is, because you can't be spot on with it in German, and a lot of the fairy tales are much darker than Disney makes them out to be. But in German, it reads this. And this translates to, little mirror on the wall, who is the fairest in all the land?" So Disney derived the mirror, mirror on the wall from Grimm's German fairy tale. They deviated from it and they made it rhyme for Disney. But if they were going to derive from the actual real statement, the real written words, it's mirror, mirror, which is said twice. Why would it be magic mirror? We knew it was magic. It's Disney. It's mirror, mirror. So to know that the Three Stooges quoted the original version from 1937 to me says that this is a strange Mandela effect, but it is a Mandela effect. And it just makes me think of Dolores Cannon, who spoke extensively about New Earth. So she's got books called The Convoluted Universe and The Three Waves of Volunteers. But she didn't talk about like pop culture glitches. What she actually described was a dimensional split where people would shift into a higher frequency earth based on their consciousness. So she believed that the earth is graduating to a higher dimension. And maybe that's why Disney movie in 1937, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, you cannot ever convince me it was anything else. Now, Dolores Cannon passed away on October 18th, 2014 at age 83. So if you want to check out any of what she's done, there's a lot of videos also you can find on YouTube, you can find on TikTok. It's very interesting. To me, the Mandela effects are when these timelines that still exist or coexist, I should say, simultaneously, along with many other timelines, I think that they bleed into each other, like when we experience deja vu or we see these Mandela effects. But again, is it a conspiracy theory with the government? Is it time travel? What is it? And why do little pieces of what was original still exist? I don't know, but I think that we should find out together. But thank you right now for joining me in the den. Don't forget, because I bring you the truth, the den has been demonetized, and it's a signal from the shadows. So if you'd like to support the dark entertainment and Rose Noir's investigations, you can do so by tipping the detective. The paypal.me link is in the bio. Again, thank you so much for joining me in the den. If you've got something to say, send me an email at welcometothedenpodcast@gmail.com.